Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to fit with their dogs? You see a high-energy runner sprinting alongside a border collie, or a calm, composed professional walking a sleek greyhound, and it just clicks. It's almost as if our choice of a fur friend is a subconscious mirror of our own personality, values, and lifestyle. While we often think we're choosing a dog based on looks or size, or maybe because we saw one in a movie and fell in love, psychology suggests that the breed you gravitate toward says a lot more about your inner world than you might realize. In fact, researchers have found that dog owners and their fur best friends often share measurable personality traits. A 2019 study published in the journal PLOS ONE found that dog owners rated their fur companions as having similar personalities to themselves. And while that might sound like simple projection, the patterns are consistent enough to be genuinely revealing. So today, we're going to walk through some of the most popular dog breeds and explore what your favorites might say about the person you truly are. You might be surprised at just how accurate this gets. Let's start with one of the most beloved breeds in the world. If your heart belongs to the Golden Retriever or Labrador, you are likely the anchor of your social circle. Much like these breeds, you value reliability and emotional warmth above all else. People who love retrievers tend to score very high in agreeableness, one of the big 5 personality traits in psychology. You aren't looking for drama or complexity. You thrive in environments where everyone feels included and genuinely happy. Your greatest strength is your social intelligence. You have an almost uncanny ability to read a room and provide the exact type of comfort or enthusiasm that's needed at that moment. Friends come to you when they need grounding. You're the one who remembers birthdays, checks in after hard days, and always seems to have the right words. The retriever isn't just your favorite dog, it's a reflection of the emotional consistency you bring to every relationship in your life. You likely also have a deep appreciation for tradition and family, and you probably find genuine happiness in the simple, everyday moments that others might overlook. On the other hand, if you're a fan of German Shepherds or Rottweilers, your personality is built on a foundation of loyalty and purpose. You aren't someone who gives your trust away easily, but once someone earns it, you are fiercely protective of them. You likely have a structured approach to life and find deep satisfaction in achievement and order. Chaos doesn't sit well with you, not because you can't handle pressure, but because you believe that preparation and discipline prevent most problems before they even begin. You value your people deeply and would do anything to ensure their safety and success, often acting as the silent guardian in your family or workplace. People might initially find you a little guarded, but those who take the time to know you understand that underneath that exterior is one of the most devoted and principled people they will ever meet. You likely have a strong moral compass, and you aren't afraid to stand by it even when it's inconvenient. You don't follow the crowd, you lead it, or you walk your own path entirely. What about those who adore French bulldogs or pugs? If these charming, quirky babies are your favorite, you likely possess a high degree of openness and a fantastic sense of humor. You don't take life too seriously, and you find genuine beauty in the unconventional. You're probably the person in your group who can find a silver lining in a stressful situation. Not in a dismissive way, but in a way that genuinely reframes the moment and makes everyone feel a little lighter. Your personality is centered around connection. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be the most memorable. There's a warmth and an authenticity to you that draws people in. You appreciate the finer, slower moments in life and prioritize deep companionship over competition. You may also have a creative side that others don't always see at first glance. You notice details, the quirky, the absurd, the quietly funny, and that perceptiveness makes you incredibly good company. Life with you is never dull, even on the quietest days. Then we have the fans of what I like to call the working brains, breeds like the Border Collie or Australian Shepherd. If these are your top picks, you are likely a high achiever with a restless, endlessly curious mind. You don't just relax in the traditional sense, you need to be engaged. Sitting still without a project or a purpose can feel almost uncomfortable for you. People who prefer these breeds often carry a streak of perfectionism and a deep, genuine need for mental stimulation. You are the person with the 5-year plan. You're always learning a new skill, reading a new book, or solving a new problem. Your defining trait is diligence. You find deep fulfillment in the craft of the work itself, not just the outcome. You respect others who share that same drive to constantly improve and excel. One thing to watch, though, your high standards can sometimes make it hard to delegate or to accept that good enough is occasionally, well, good enough. Learning to rest is often your greatest personal challenge. If you find yourself drawn to hounds, breeds like beagles, basset hounds, or dachshunds, you probably have a very strong-willed, fiercely independent streak. Hounds are famously known for following their noses, sometimes completely tuning out the world around them in pursuit of a single, compelling scent. Their owners often share that same singular focus and that same quiet stubbornness. You are deeply curious, perhaps a bit set in your ways, and profoundly authentic. You don't follow trends just because everyone else is on board. You have a nose for the truth. You can sense when something feels off, when a story doesn't add up, when someone isn't being real with you. And you have the bravery to trust that instinct, even when it leads you somewhere unexpected. You may not always take the most direct route, but you have a remarkable ability to stay committed to whatever trail you've decided to follow. People admire your independence, even if they occasionally wish you'd just listen to directions. For those who love poodles or doodles, there's a sophisticated and sometimes underestimated blend of intelligence and versatility at work. You are likely someone who values both efficiency and grace. You want things to work well, but you also want them to look good while they're working. You care about presentation, not out of vanity, but because you understand that how something is delivered matters just as much as what is being delivered. You're often highly organized, and you can pivot between different social settings with remarkable ease, moving from a high-stakes professional meeting to a casual dinner party without missing a beat. Your strongest trait is adaptability. You can handle almost any environment, any crowd, any challenge, as long as you can maintain a certain standard of quality. You likely have wide-ranging interests and are genuinely good at many things, which can sometimes make it hard to choose where to focus your energy. But when you do commit, you commit with elegance and intention. Rescue dog people deserve their own category entirely. Because the breed wasn't the point for you, the story was. People who are specifically drawn to rescue dogs, who feel something powerful when they see a fur baby that has been through difficulty and is still willing to trust, tend to share a very particular emotional profile. You believe in second chances at a level that runs deeper than words. You have probably given second chances in your own life, to people, to situations, to versions of yourself that other people would have walked away from. Not because you didn't know better, because you understand that struggle does not diminish worth. You are also highly empathetic in the specific sense that you are drawn toward the underdog. Not the loudest, most obviously impressive thing in the room. The quieter one. The one that people passed over. The one that has something extraordinary to offer if someone is just paying close enough attention. Rescue dog people tend to be quietly but profoundly strong. You have often been through your own version of rebuilding, and what you found on the other side of that is a kind of compassion that cannot be taught or manufactured. Finally, if you prefer terriers, whether it's a tiny Yorkshire Terrier, a feisty Jack Russell, or a bold Scottie, you are the very definition of tenacity. These dogs have enormous personalities packed into compact frames, and so do you. You are spirited, brave, and incredibly resilient. When life knocks you down, you don't stay down for long. You shake it off, reassess, and come back with even more determination than before. You have a feisty approach to challenges that others genuinely admire, even when it occasionally ruffles some feathers. Your friends likely value your unfiltered honesty and your ability to stand your ground even when the odds seem stacked against you. You don't bluff, you don't shrink, and you don't pretend. What people see with you is what they get, and what they get is someone who is fully, unapologetically alive. So what does all of this tell us? Our dogs are more than just companions. They are, in many ways, extensions of the traits we value most in ourselves. Or sometimes, fascinating windows into the traits we secretly wish we had more of. The person who admires the calm, quiet dignity of a Great Dane might be striving for more stillness in a chaotic life. The person who loves the boundless, ridiculous joy of a Cocker Spaniel might be someone who has chosen, consciously or not, to protect their own sense of wonder from the weight of the world. Psychology has long suggested that our preferences, even the seemingly trivial ones, are rarely random. They're data points, they're clues. And the fur friends we invite into our lives and our homes, the ones we feel most drawn to, most at home with, might be one of the most honest reflections of who we are that we never think to examine. So, next time you find yourself stopping to pet a stranger's dog on the street, or pausing a little too long on a photo of a breed you love, ask yourself, what is it about that particular dog that speaks to something in you? The answer might tell you something genuinely useful about the person looking back at you in the mirror. If you found this exploration into personality and psychology interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel. We dive deep into the patterns, quirks, and hidden truths of human psychology every week, and there's so much more to explore. Thank you so much for watching.